As I'm reading Staring at the Sun, what I'm doing is I'm adding the characters that are mentioned in the storyline. So I believe this is where I took off. I'm adding all these into my playlist on YouTube under If My Life Was a Movie, under Staring at the Sun, the complete collection. It's going to also have If My Life Was a Movie. So as characters come into my books while I'm reading, I'm going to be adding them. So that's why it's in this order. Um, so that's where we're at. So this is the young Mr. Shadows is going to be Dylan Arnold. The books are set up for Dylan and Leo. Leo is my adult best friend. The tensions separate the real friendship. Who she doesn't remember is Dylan. Slowly remembering Dylan and what he almost did or was set up. Still to this day, the truth won't be known. He is not who he was, and we have been was always been to me a friend, and if I needed anything, he was there. His wife is my best friend, and Mr. Shadows went from felon to executive. So future goals would be to work on prison reform and felon entry into the workforce. This is something that I've worked on for years, and with keeping in mind his story. So I have a whole program in mind for reform for everything. It's just something that my brain just like thinks about that stuff. So Chris Pratt, who is Mr. Shadow, Chris Pratt is who Mr. Shadows wants to be, the good guy, but his younger version fights to come out. This is where Leo takes control of most of his life. Leo is no bad man, but he is his sickness, both mental and physical. So Mr. Shadows is the fan favorite. His battle with cancer to his reputation in high school, Leo knows what he is capable of and suppresses Chris. Chris comes out to save Stacy. Chris is a good husband and father, and they learn to coexist as Blake and Jen. This is the main storyline. The congressman and Mr. Shadows hated each other in high school. They grew up to work together to protect Stacy from Stacy. This is why I blended faces. How I feel for them mirrors in my memory. Both are the same feeling. When my mind is gone, it runs to Chris, Ryan, and Leo, and the faces blend. So Mr. Shadow's wife, Miss J. Rabbit, is Helena Bonham Carter. Helena is my favorite actress of all time. The Mr. Shadows and Miss J. Rabbit storyline is the most interesting one. This is our real lives. It's happening in real time. Helena and Leo filmed together, I think will win me awards. That's the goal. Helena is good at playing villains, but they end up being the hero. My respect for their marriage and our 20-year friendship. The life that she made for Mr. Shadows and their family is one to be proud of. Young Miss J. Rabbit, Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter is my obsession. Her acting in Girl Meets World, the getaway from Mr. Shadow's glare, but I love you and here's something to smoke. Her beauty inside and out is why I went with her. I am likely going to use Sabrina in a new role, and my role crosses faces. This is how paranoid schizophrenia works. And then here's some graphics. Dylan and Joey's friendship started in high school and remained throughout adulthood. The hidden storyline will be revealed and grow throughout the series. Joey will remain a big supporter of Mr. Shadows, and Mr. Shadow's shadowy past follows her. Attached to her, when she finally opens up to what happened, it heals her as an adult version gets admitted to help find clarity. Young and adult Miss J. Rabbit, wife of Mr. Shadows. Mr. Shadows and Miss J. Rabbit met in high school. Mr. Shadows started at Hillsborough in 2004, and as we enter high school, if it's not true, well, I can't remember. We all used to hang out after school for all of high school. Growing up, not a lot changed. My disease tends to spill on their porch. Mr. Shadows is like a brother to me. Miss J. Rabbit is my adult best friend. We had a falling out when my mania touched her feelings to her husband, making me the villain. Nothing was ever acted on, and we can laugh to the bank about it. Click, click, sign my check. Young the Congressman, Dylan Arnold. So this is an update. So this is exciting for me. Young the Congressman and I are childhood best friends. My earliest memory is when we were about 9 years old. He read a Martin Luther King speech. I had a dream. This is a big reason I write all my dreams. The singular memory of my 9-year-old me making it a life goal. And when I met him again in adult years, it was my first memory of us. Since I got my medication, his memory is more and more. We are best friends with my best friend and her boyfriend. We were best friends with my best friend and her boyfriend. He was my seatmate on the band bus. I'm choosing Dylan Arnold. This will leak Chris Pratt. Dylan is my favorite young actor. Dylan will be twins like Parent Trap with his dual role Mr. Shadows. One is the next president and the other where you find things you hide. I spent my life trying to get him a chance to be the real president. He smiles gently and nudges me to the help I need. We smile and carry on with life. We were closer than we think. For your consideration. These are just graphics. I like to put them together because I like to see what they look like if you're shooting. So like for me, my goal is to win an Oscar. Like I just try to manifest that every day. So this is what they would look like shooting. So this is the Young Congressman and Young Stacy. This is just the inspiration of why I choose Dylan Arnold to be opposite of Leonardo DiCaprio. They remind me very much of each other. To shooting, Jennifer Lawrence is she's my manic version of myself, and then Miss J Rabbit is so over it. But me more than anyone. And then Blake Lively is like the good version of who I am. This is the Congressman and Young Stacy. This is the Congressman and Young Stacy and my shadow Stacy. And then Leonardo DiCaprio is the shadow version. Mr. Shadow's young Stacy, young Miss J Rabbit. And I put a little comment that says, I age like fine wine that you don't like. Because I heard the Feather song from Sabrina Carpenter, and that was a quote in there. Fine wine is a little inside joke. I don't know if that's why it's in the song, but I commented years ago, and somebody was like, I'm so glad to see you. I said, yeah, I age like fine wine. Now, understand that I'm the most insecure person ever, and I think that that no one will ever love me on the inside, that I'll see a therapist for the rest of my life to undo that. But that's why I put that little quote there, because she said, drink wine that I don't like, or something, I'm not sure. This is Shadow Stacy and Adult Stacy. Shadow Stacy and the Young Congressman and Adult Stacy. This outfit is like everything to me. Shadow Stacy and Young Stacy. The Young Congressman and Young Stacy. The Young Congressman, the Young Mr. Shadows, Mr. Shadows Adult Stacy, Young Adult and Young Miss J Rabbit. I'm putting it really specific because they're going to play multiple different roles, so I have to like make it really clear for myself. Then I'm going to stop there and we'll pick up here.